Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most misunderstood roles in tech, site reliability engineering. But here's the twist. We're going to forget the code for a bit. Instead, we're going to focus on the critical business conversations that really make or break SRE in any organization. All right, let's jump right in with an idea that sounds completely backwards. The danger of being too good at your job, specifically too good at reliability.
I know, it sounds like a trick question, doesn't it? How can being more reliable possibly be a problem? Well, it turns out that chasing perfection, aiming for that extra 9 of uptime, can actually create these huge hidden risks across your entire company. Let me show you what I mean. So here's the trap. Imagine a service becomes so rock solid, so dependable, that other teams start building on top of it without any safety nets. They just assume it's never going to fail. They don't build fallbacks. So when you have a totally reasonable, planned outage, it sets off this catastrophic domino effect that takes down everything. A legendary story from inside Google perfectly illustrates this. They had a lock service called Chubby, and it got so reliable that other engineers literally forgot it could ever go down. So what did the SRE team do? Something radical. They started taking it down, on purpose. This forced all the other teams to actually build resilience into their own systems, which in the end made the whole ecosystem way stronger. So, all of this leads to the absolute foundation of any conversation about SRE. Before you even get to talking about headcounts or budgets, you have to get everyone in the room to agree on one single fundamental idea. And to really get this right, we're going to lean on the wisdom of two people who have had these conversations for years, Ben Luch and Dave Renson. These guys basically shaped the entire SRE philosophy at Google. And this right here, this quote, is the absolute starting point. It's non-negotiable. You have to get your business and product leaders to see that reliability isn't just some nerdy operational thing. No, it is a core feature of your product, just as important as any shiny new button. If you can't get a yes on this, the conversation is dead on arrival. Okay, so once they agree reliability is a feature, you present them with a philosophical choice. It's really simple. Path number 1, your current developers own it all. The pagers, the on-call, the whole shebang. Or path number 2, you hire specialist engineers who focus only on that reliability feature. If they pick number 2, well, congratulations. You've just made the business case for SRE. So you've laid out the choice. Now, how do you get them to actually invest? Well, the secret, and this is another surprising one, is that you don't really sell SRE at all. This is such a critical insight from Ben Luch. Pitching SRE based on fear, if you don't hire us, a disaster is going to happen, is a complete trap. You just can't scare people into making a good long-term decision. If they say yes just because they're afraid, your future SRE team is going to have a miserable, thankless job. And the difference is just night and day. A weak pitch is basically selling insurance. Pay us now, or something bad might happen later. It's vague. A strong pitch, on the other hand, is an engineering argument. You walk in with data from the last incident and say, here's exactly what happened, and here's the work needed to make sure it doesn't happen again. It's your choice. It's all about making an informed business decision. This quote just completely reframes the whole relationship. SREs aren't the department of no. They should be the yes-if team. The business wants to grow the user base by 10 times? Awesome. The SRE's job is to say, yes, we can totally do that if we invest this much work into these specific areas to handle the scale. You're not the bad guy. You're the one drawing the map to get them where they want to go. Okay, so you've got the team, you're doing the work. Now, how do you actually show your value? The key is to stop talking like an engineer and start talking in a language the business actually understands. This is such a classic mistake. Going to the C-suite and talking about SLOs and error budget percentages, it's like trying to explain quantum mechanics in a board meeting. It's the right data, sure, but it's for the completely wrong audience. Trust me, they do not care about the nines. So what do they care about? Time. And I mean their own personal time. So let's just throw out the idea of an error budget as a percentage and reframe it into a unit that every single executive feels in their gut. This is a real metric, and it is brilliant. You sit down with an executive and you ask them, how many minutes are you, personally, willing to be on the phone with an angry customer this month? That number, a number you can literally track on their calendar, that is the real error budget. It's tangible, and it directly connects all that complex reliability work to actual executive-level pain. This all leads to the ultimate goal for any really great SRE team. And you guessed it, just like where we started, it's totally counterintuitive.
You see, a truly mature SRE team's main goal is to work itself out of a job. Seriously, the whole point is to automate and stabilize a service so well that it just runs itself. It becomes so resilient that it no longer needs a dedicated full-time SRE team babysitting it. Success means you get to move on to the next big broken thing.
And this gives you the absolute perfect response when a leader starts questioning the value of your SRE team. You can say, you know what, you might be right. Things are stable. Let's hand the pagers back to your developers and we'll go solve another problem. It's not a threat. It's a real offer. And I guarantee you 9 times out of 10, that leader will suddenly realize just how critical your team is. Instantly, you go from being a cost center to a strategic asset they can't afford to lose.
So we've talked a lot of high-level strategy here, but what if your systems are literally on fire right now? Where do you even begin with the hands-on work?
The answer is you don't just start fighting fires randomly. You need a roadmap. The Dickerson hierarchy of reliability is basically Maslow's hierarchy, but for systems. You start at the absolute bottom, which is solid monitoring, and you don't even think about moving up a level until that foundation is rock solid. It brings order to all the chaos.
So if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's that SRE isn't just a technical role. It's a business strategy. It's about framing reliability as your #1 feature, measuring your success in minutes of executive time, and building things so well that your goal is to make yourself unnecessary. So the real question is, how are you going to start that conversation where you work?